welcome to Mission Alive. I think today we might think again about what does Mission Alive really mean? Where does it come from, this mission, and how do we keep it alive? The mission really comes from Jesus. Go into the whole world, teach all people all the things I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you all days, even to the end of the world. That wasn't a mission just for the apostles. That was a mission for anyone who followed Jesus, for anyone who became a follower of Jesus, a Christian. And even others who belong to other religions, they too have the mission. And what is that mission and how do we teach it? We don't just teach by standing up in front of a class of people and talking, a group of people, and giving a lecture. We don't just teach by writing books. We don't just teach by talking. We also teach by doing, by living who we are. One time, another sister and I came down from the missions back to our own country for holidays. She lived up at the north and I lived down the south with our parents. We stayed with our own families for our holidays. Sometimes we came and stayed at the convent, then go back to our own families. So this day we agreed to meet in the city, do some shopping, sit in the park and talk. So we did those things and it was getting time to go home. So we came down to where the buses and trams were taking people backwards and forwards. And we stood on the corner just to say the last words of goodbye to each other and planning when we would meet again. While we were standing there, a woman came up to us and said, "Are you Catholic sisters?" And we said, "Yes, we are." And she said, "Can I talk to you?" We said, "Certainly." And suddenly she just broke into tears. She cried and she cried, she sobbed and she sobbed. We put our arms around her to try and console her, to try and strengthen her, to try and help her. In the end, she stopped crying. She wiped her eyes and stood up and she said, "Thank you, sisters. Thank you for listening to my cry. When we talk and teach, we also have to listen. Thank you for listening to my cry." And then she said to us, "I have just been at the hospital all day, sitting next to my sister who is dying of cancer. Now, in the evening, I am going home to my family to prepare the evening meal. And I will know when I get home, the children will be shouting, they will be playing, they will be asking me questions, and I have to be bright and alive and talk to them and put my sorrow away. But it will be in my heart, heavy in my heart. But now that I have talked to you, I feel I have shared my sorrow with somebody. It's not so great, my sadness. You have taken my tears." So we were teaching by just being who we are, teaching by just being ready to listen to someone who had sorrow to bear. Sometimes it might be joy that people want to share. They come all enthusiastic and want to tell something. I remember one night when I was at school one day, one of the teachers came bouncing into the room. Oh, something good had happened. She had to come in and tell the sister in charge, the headmistress. And she came rushing in and she said, "Look what I have." And she was so excited and we were all happy for her. And the headmistress said, "Sister, this is class time. Please wait till later." Oh, she went out so disappointed, so dejected. Nobody shared her joy. So when we went outside, we said, "What happened? What happened?" She said, "Look, I got a check for £100, $100, 100, whatever you call your money, 100. And it was for some big project they were trying to get in the school." She had done something. She was full of joy. She wanted to share that joy. So sometimes in English we say, "Are you a wet blanket?" A wet blanket is something that's heavy. It's heavy to carry, to put on the line. It's heavy to carry if you have to take it from one place to another. You've been out camping and your blanket gets very wet. It's heavy to carry back. But somebody who's not a heavy wet blanket, somebody who's a nice dry blanket, then they're easy. They're ready to listen, they're ready to talk, they're ready to hear. So remember that sharing the mission, keeping the mission alive, sometimes it's by doing, sometimes it's by being, sometimes it's by teaching, sometimes it's by listening. Make sure you are aware that all the time, whatever you are doing, you are keeping mission alive if you are a light blanket. But you are not helping to keep mission alive if you are a wet blanket and don't care and worry and enjoy and share the joys and sorrows of others. Take time now to be ready to share the joys and the sorrows, to talk and to listen to the story of others.